Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Roll Bones podcast. Joined once again with my good friend Governor Trev. It's good to have you back, brother.
How you doing, Joe?
Let me just turn this up just a little bit, bro. This week is out of control, man.
Been wild,
dude. Like, all right, for everybody, if you haven't been following the stuff with Candace Owens, yo, this shit's crazy. Like, and I kind of agree with her, like, on so much, but I don't like things that are too damn clean. There is too much clean shit involved in this case. I'm adjusting this camera, whatever is going on here. We're too far away. Now we're good. But yeah, what's your take on some of the stuff you've heard so far?
bro. This shit's wild. It's just too much. I mean, I've got a list of notes that we can get into from just what I've seen, but you're right. It's too clean. There's just too much shit going on like we spoke on the phone earlier, man. It's been a fucking neck breaking experience this last week. It's been crazy.
Yeah, bro. And like, look, like he's sitting like notice how everything just seems to be so hyper accelerated.
Right.
Like there's like I feel like the investigation was so brief, so minimal. There was so many strange components that was going on. And you know, we'll kick off this evening by at least celebrating the fact that as far as people getting out of pocket and saying goofy stuff, Jimmy Kimmel just bit the dust.
That was one of the things I wanted to talk about tonight.
Like, what a punk bastard did this fucking guy. Kimmel's been on it for so long and saying so many out of line things over the years. This shit's crazy, bro. Like, but I'm happy to see Jimmy Kimmel finally get what was coming. You know what I mean? I'm not a big supporter of cancel culture. But in those kind of positions, you know, why are we going to cancel the guy at the gas station? You know, that they're just, you know, they are entitled to their opinion too, or whatever. But when you're someone like him, yeah, you deserve what was coming. You know,
for sure. He's been out of pocket one too many times, man. And I mean, this shit was just too much.
But back to the strange stuff that's going on here. I think we'll start it with George Zinn. You know, Jason just did a reel about him. There's so many wild card things around it. Like, first and foremost, why was he I believe I had heard, I think JD did a reel, something along the lines like he was screaming to like shoot me or something like that.
He was screaming shoot me. After saying that he would shoot. Sorry about that. After saying after the shoot me came after him saying that he had shot Charlie Kirk and he would do it again.
Like, you know, and then, you know, so they go back, they let him go. The guy, you know, Tyler Robinson gets away. They have him, and then they let him go. They come back, they charge him with obstruction. And from what Candace said, he was getting really cagey when they went back to talk to him, something about the phone and all this other stuff. And, you know, and of course they find child abuse material all over this phone. And this is where you got to start drawing crazy. This is where for me, the first set of lines start going across. You know, everybody like look into the Epstein stuff, but you know, we all know Ghislaine Maxwell's father had deep ties to intelligence agencies and stuff like that. But it always comes back. All these operators in these Mossad plants and these, you know, they have deep ties to these different things. They all go back to kids, bro. It always cycles back to kids. And we know that was a big thing. You know, Charlie was a big supporter of Trump. You know, it still was to the end. But, you know, he was very vocal about he didn't give a fuck, like, release those files.
Right.
You know, he was pushing back hard on that. Like, Do you think George Zinn, just to start with him, do you think Mossad was involved?
I do, for sure. I mean, is it something that we'll ever be able to find out? Obviously not. I mean, just look at the crazy madness with Epstein. I mean, we've gotten dick with that, with Trump leading, his one of his biggest things to be reelected was to release the files.
Right.
And that hasn't happened. I do think for sure that Mossad is somehow tied into this, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, because Candace explained it the best with when she started talking about Epstein showing up all these different spots, and all these different people kind of, even Trump included, kind of referred to him as very unremarkable when it came to finance and numbers. So nobody can really figure out where this dude actually came from. But the thing that was really crazy, bro, with it is when you really think about it. So they would take somebody like a Jeffrey Epstein, they send him out, like she had said it the best with, you get somebody to go get us a picture of somebody in this position with a child or something compromising.
Right.
Now you control the narrative, you control the government, and they'll do anything just to avoid that. You know what I mean? Getting out. And Charlie was auditing Israel on a lot of things for a long period of time, more so lately than everything. I just find it rather peculiar, even Israel's response. Bibi was out there, the accusations that they were involved were immediate by normal people, I think.
Yeah, I think that very quickly, going back to just how quickly they wrapped all of this up, is it leads us and everybody else to, I mean, you get to a certain point, you're going to start putting on a tinfoil hat with this shit.
I'm definitely wearing tinfoil under this
hat. Right now, bro. Yeah.
I absolutely am. And it's crazy because, I would talk about this stuff with my brother, and my brother walked that line, bro. There was times, and he'll tell you, that I was like, you're out of your fucking mind, bro. I break his balls about it, that you can't live in a world full of Bond villains. And here we are, bro. And it's now, because the thing that me and him used to kind of debate on were the QAnon stuff. And even I talked to him yesterday, and he even told me, he's like, I go back and forth on that stuff. But now, in the wake of Charlie, it all starts snapping together, dude. And I think that, what was it that, now maybe, I don't know if you read, I think you were reading, I think, about it earlier. What was the situation with Charlie in the Hamptons? From what you've read?
Man, so, I mean, super basic. He was offered a whole lot of money, and refused to change his narrative to what they wanted. And at the end of the day, when you're playing with powerful people and you say no, and you're getting pressured all weekend, you're hanging out with all these billionaires, you're getting pressured all weekend, and you say no, unfortunately, bad shit happens. Obviously Charlie wasn't the type of dude to get caught wearing a dress, posing, or fucking with kids.
Yeah.
And they knew that. You know what I mean? They knew that wasn't going to happen. This is the most picture perfect conservative, right-wing Christian family man on the face of the planet. Look all those words up in the dictionary, and that's Charlie Kirk right there, put together.
I think the benefit to them probably taking him down is because it's not even about, Charlie was a massive platform now, but think about, he started moving away from the Israel narrative, with certain things. He always agreed that we should support an ally, but what he really went hard against is all right. And even some of his last debates where he went out, on the college campuses, he had said, he's like, no, I think that we've given Israel enough. And there's a time where you need to start, going to the table and trying to find peaceful resolutions to this. But I think the biggest threat they viewed him as is his future political career, because probably within the next 5 years he probably would have been campaigning towards maybe like at least a senator to start, or a governor, or probably I'd say something in the federal level for sure.
For sure.
And Trump was like, he was really close with him. He's really close with JD Vance. And him and Candace Owens are two of the biggest political advocates on the conservative side. So, they're a threat. He was a serious threat, because that he wouldn't have tolerated this kind of bullshit. So, and not to mention, he's bringing a younger generation following him
into politics all day long.
Right. I mean, to be fair, I feel like Candace Owens is Candace and Charlie made politics interesting again.
For sure.
You know what I mean? A couple of younger people, they're up there, they're kind of getting people engaged. It's like Scott Pressler, like he's out there boots on the ground, like swaying votes into in these strongholds, but they made it exciting and got people involved with all these take action type scenarios. And so I mean, like, I definitely am nervous for Candace, because something like she is on fire, bro. Like,
bro, she's moving the waters right now, and she needs to be careful. It would, with what she's been doing just even the last couple days, I mean, you're looking at crazy, she hasn't even started her lives, and you're looking at absurd numbers, it's, and the topic's such a hot topic, and her being friends with Charlie, like, and having, that one-on-one relationship as friends, like, man, she's got to be fucking careful.
Yeah, I mean, she's pointing fingers, Bill Ackman, which I'm going to start following more into that. And the problem is when you start digging into these things, this isn't like out of, I research all the people like I'll interview or whatever, but in this one, this isn't something you can deep dive in like a week. Like this, you're going back all the way. I mean, even when I've had conversations with Anthony Arillotta about it, like, he's so knowledgeable on especially all the stuff with the Kennedys. But he was saying certain things to me back in like January. And then all that shit comes out. You know what I mean? And it's like, this shit is so fucking devious. And we can't. This is what I kind of said the other night. We talked about the other night. There's a point when we have to shut down their system, not allow them to infiltrate. And that doesn't just stop with, I don't believe it's just the Israelis, bro, like, or Mossad. I think everybody's got intelligence divisions inside of every government on the planet, but they are probably the smartest and long running racket in the planet, dude. Like, think about, why is it that every fucking conspiracy theory just lands at their feet?
Right. It's obviously they got the juice. You know what I mean? I would just like to, I've got some bullet points and some things on the list. And man, one of the things that she said that I was driving, I was listening to her live stream today, and she said, and it snapped me into reality or out of reality and right back in, was the American Jewish Committee called Charlie Kirk an anti-Semite. Like, how, she's just pulling crazy facts out that obviously she's got to have a paper trail for. She's got to have, she's got to have the receipts, man. And she's proven that she does on some things. And obviously in the past, she's been known for what she says to hold some juice, but it's just that was one of the things that it literally like that one just kind of shook me a little bit because I mean if you have listened to Charlie, like that man doesn't hate anybody, period.
Right. Yeah, like I mean, like, and now every piece of like the conspiracy to abuse his reputation, it's all falling apart. The biggest one they stood on was he was the ultra white power this, white power that. It's really wild when you see like him out just having dinner with Candace Owens and Terrence Williams, and Dan Bongino, and like you just like all these like major black political figures. One of his best friends outside of Candace was Brandon Tatum. You see him; he had a great friendship with Buck Angel. Like, yeah, it really pokes holes in your narrative. When he's out there just doing things with these people, not with the cameras. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit fucking crazy to me. And but I'm starting to more and more I'm starting to believe that she's gonna unravel this whole thing.
And that's bad. I mean, it's a good thing, but for her safety, it's fucking bad, bro. If she's gonna do that, she needs to do that from underground. Period.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, like the thing, I think that's why it's important. It's important that more people from this level of media to like JD's level and beyond that. It's so important that people start acknowledging and making that ruckus, because what it does is it just kind of makes a very loud shield around her. And then they can't kill everybody.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, but I don't foresee her letting off the gas at all. And I mean, just to take a step back from Mossad, there's one of the most curious things that she said is when she pointed out that nobody is like, there are people gunning for Charlie's seat. There are people that used to work for Turning Point that have been reaching out to her, talking about bizarre policy changes and bizarre, just a lot of crazy stuff. And Charlie was getting a lot of pressure from people within his own camp, like, which is like, I'm kind of curious to see how that plays out. Because she said it seems like the only people that Charlie really had, like over at Turning Point specifically, was his wife. That's what I'm taking from it. So I don't know what your opinion is on some of that.
My question to you personally is like, do you think that the meeting in the Hamptons, where that pressure is coming from, and obviously there's pressure coming from inside his own house, his own camp, are one and the same? Do you think that they have infiltrated to the point of,
doing backdoor deals for him?
Yeah, trying to topple down the house from inside out, basically. That's something that has crossed my mind a few times.
Bro, like I think I think all of these roads have something worth walking down. In regards to that, I really believe that I think that somebody in Charlie's house, somebody approached them about, hey, we have this opportunity. All Charlie's got to do is do a couple photo ops, this and that.
Take this life-changing money.
Right.
Right.
I mean, think about it this way. Like, all right, we'll keep it just in like something from our world. I remember following it like with JD, like where he had that opportunity with Mr. Beast, he turned it down.
Right.
I don't think Mr. Beast is going to have JD whacked, but it's the same concept. It's somebody offered him something that was going to be insane amounts of money, and Charlie refused it. And I believe that was the that was that was his last opportunity, kind of take this bribe, or whatever happens. Do I think they threatened to kill him direct? No, I think they planned that out, because if somebody comes in and tells you we're gonna fucking whack you, your guard's gonna be up from that point on. You're gonna triple down on security. You're gonna probably reconsider. Like, all right, so Charlie does those lives. What if they threaten him direct, and then Charlie puts plexiglass up?
Right.
Makes it impossible or harder. It's much harder to take him down. I think that he knew something, but I feel like he knew something was wrong.
No, I agree. I definitely agree. But turning down, quote, life-changing money, and from what I've heard, enough to change Turning Point, enough for him and his kids, down the line, like potentially grandkids, to be set, like
create generational wealth.
Right, complete generational wealth. You turn something like that down from the people that you're meeting with, he probably did, to a degree.
Well, all right, put it this way. Like, we'll try to, this, I guess it's the way I'm calculating. It'd be like if you approach me, like we're talking about, somebody reaches out and they want to do X, Y, and Z with me and you. And you know how much fucking money that you stand to make from it. Like, and it would be more money than you've ever seen in your life. I personally don't think you would put a contract on my ass, but dude, people do crazy shit over greed, bro.
Fuck yeah. JD obviously turned down Mr. Beast due to his belief. And obviously Charlie turned down whatever he turned down due to his beliefs. And I think, you're, like I said, when you're dealing with that magnitude of people, when I say he probably knew, did he think it was going to be a right away, the next week type bullshit, or, are they going to revisit, come back and offer him more money, or, regardless, he knew that wasn't the end of the conversation.
Right.
And, their end of the conversation for him was unfortunately what it was, as far as, him fucking being martyred both politically and religiously in front of his family and 3,000 people and in front of the fucking world, graphically as fuck.
I think that they thought that bullet was going to have the other effect.
For sure.
That we were going to we were going to be so shell-shocked as a society that not a single person, doesn't matter left or right, would ever consider getting out of pocket again or bucking the system. I think that was the intent, is the ultimate scare tactic, that nobody's safe, and it failed, because there's no way to go into the next thing. The whole thing, with as far as this investigation goes, what a fucking circus this has been.
Bro, it's been crazy. I can't believe that you would think, with just how public and how shaken parts of, a good part of the U.S., that just to cover their own ass, the government cover their own ass, you would think that they wouldn't be closing the investigation as fast as they have. I'm not saying that they're completely done with it, but just trying to wrap it up as fast as they wrap it up. And there's so many different holes, man. I refuse to say the shooter's name. I'm not about, I feel like JD does with that shit, but I don't understand how they this is a grown adult. They turned him in custody over to his parents of him while they searched the dude's house. What fucking sense does that make? If I get caught with a kilo of dope in my car, they're not going to call my parents and be like, hey, can you hold on to him while we book this? The fuck? Doesn't make sense, man. It makes
it doesn't. Well, you had, we'll start at the campus. They had it wasn't just George Zinn. I heard that they had another person that they were looking at, at the same time, and that also was like they ruled out as nothing. They have these. Why is it that when there's a shooter, does suddenly all the we live in a world of high. Every fucking phone has a high definition thing. Security cameras, especially in a college that can afford it, are these like top of the line, perfect fucking cameras. But yet, when there's a shooter involved or something in question, they all look like a Sasquatch.
Right in the ass shit, yeah.
Yeah, like an old like 1987 CT cam in a bodega. Like it's always some weird shit, bro. And you're telling me that an entire college campus there was only like a handful of cameras that picked this kid up?
Crazy.
Bro, I've been in you know,
fucking Walmart has more shit than that, bro.
Yeah, Walmart's got more cameras in the parking lot, dude, than this school had, apparently. I mean, I can definitely understand having that many cameras if it was like a Walmart in California for sure. But I mean, but still, like, you know, with the amount of they're charging with these kids with tuition, you're telling me that they can't motherfucking they were only able to snag this guy on a couple cameras. What the fuck did he have? Harry Potter's invisibility cloak? Like, that's ridiculous, bro.
You fucking teleporting? Right.
You don't got him on camera fucking going into a bathroom, coming out in a different set of clothes, because they have that. It starts off, you have that thing at like 8. It's like 8:53 in the morning. Somebody coming in that's like 8 miles away from this camera. They're like, oh yeah, that's definitely him.
Right.
How do we know that? Did you check every other fucking spot?
Bro, it's too much. Like, it's just wild. I mean, all of it, like, you know, they're releasing, well, at least from what I heard from Candace's live stream, is like, you know, they've released some of what the shooter himself, like his timeline, and it's like, are we really gonna, there has to be, I mean, there has to be more that they're not releasing as of right now. Like, you've got to think that at least. Because if not, like, they're just making a fucking asinine, like, it's almost hard to come up with words that describe how they're handling this situation. It's absolutely sickening. So it makes me think that there's got to be shit that they're not releasing right now, but from dude's own timeline that he's released, supposedly, well, that the feds have, a lot of it doesn't make sense. Like, you're going to tell me that he kicked it, he was just kicking it for hours and hours, waiting to try to go back and get the gun? Like, you were able to change, you're in the woods, able to change from one outfit to another, and you're not going to pick up the fucking gun and leave with it? If that's really, you know what I mean? But then again, how did the fucking rifle get to where he was at in the first place?
Well, all right. And the other thing is like, where's, like, obviously we don't need the autopsy for cause of death, but you do need it to support a ballistics fucking case. So what the,
how do we know that was a 30-06 round that hit him in the neck? If they
100%.
Right.
You know, how do we know? There's a lot of variables that in this thing. Like, I'm sorry, they saying he's got this gun, you know, the rifle was down his pant leg or some other shit. Then I've heard he disassembled it and reassembled it. The timeline even on the reassemble, disassemble doesn't even make sense. But I watched him walk up them stairs, bro. Like,
your legs are gonna be bending like that, right?
Right, and he'd be walking around, you know, like he had cerebral palsy. No offense to anybody, but I mean, if he had a full long gun right down to his pants, you know, especially motherfucker was wearing damn near skinny jeans.
Right. You're talking like 4 feet and change of a gun, and this isn't a modern AR-15 with a folding buffer tube, bro. This is, you know, the action, the barrel, the trigger, all of that is one metal piece, and then you've got, whether wood or plastic, your stock, which is covering, you know what I mean? You're looking at that being 2/3 of the length of the rifle altogether, because you've got the front section where your non-dominant hand is going to be gripping that rifle. So even if it was broken down into 2 pieces, so now what? He's got 2 fucking pieces down his fucking pants. and he's walking up and down stairs, jumping off buildings and shit.
But I mean, but so you shove the gun down your pants with a blazing hot barrel to slither down the side of a building? Like, you rational minded. I mean, you saw the guy running. I mean, dude, I didn't see him stuffing a giant ass rifle down his jeans while he was running across that rooftop. I think that would have been a little noticeable. You didn't see him drop anything off that roof either. He just he slid down, went right over that side and dropped. And if he had all these chambered rounds, you know, you're saying that this gun only fired one round, had a bunch in the chamber. Like, you just happened to drop it in the wood, wrapped it in a towel. Like, where's the cameras of him moving back to that part? Where's the parking lot? Where's the other cameras on the grounds that picked him up? I personally think that gun, he probably had another gun that was there. I think the rifle that was used here was either shot came from a different spot, or like his weapon was planted up there.
For sure.
And we're gonna suddenly, you know, all the evidence we need will suddenly just never come up.
Right.
Why do you think that they're suddenly doing construction on that entire fucking area? They investigate. They don't know all the. We have records of there being from neighbors that there's all these crazy cars with different license plates showing up the night before. A major fucking political.
They're saying.
Oh yeah, you're right. No, yeah. To be fair, yeah, it went on for weeks.
Yeah.
But one thing I do want to say before we go any further on this thing, I know we had said it before. I don't know if it's been 100% verified whether or not his wife and kids were actually at the shooting, but I do want to touch on that because we do want to strive to be credible.
Right.
And
we talked about this.
Yeah, no hearsay. You know, we're going to go by what is being reported and what's out there in the field now and give our takes on it. But as far as Erica and the kids being like right there, you know, I don't know. There's nothing that really supports that they actually were present for it. You know, videos and no statements either, not even from Erica herself. So just want to throw that out there.
For sure. No, I agree. I mean, it's something you and I have talked about, and I 100% agree. And because if that's wrong, like, I will completely take back what I said about him being blasted in the neck in front of his wife and kids. Like, you know, it's.
You know, but you know, even to go in, like, you know, whether or not they were there, I take that back. But it doesn't matter that these kids are going to grow up the rest of their lives with their father's murder being televised, always brought up, talked about for the next 1,000 years. So,
well, the internet's forever, bro. I mean, yeah. What happens when these children are teenagers and some fucking jackass wants to pull up an old Reddit file and be like, hey, look. You know,
I personally think that will be the ideological war and the stupid crap that we're dealing with now. I feel like this part of it will be over by the time they're at that age.
I agree.
You know, just because the bipartisan level of just contempt for people getting out of pocket like this is, I mean, I'm actually kind of surprised at it, to be fair, but it is happening. There's a lot of people unified just on the sheer level of disgust they have for people acting a fool. But however, but to that thing, it's like, this man's murdered, yet you're fucking you're running construction things. I've seen countless videos of them in that courtyard. What are you doing?
Right.
There's no way. Like, there's so many, you know, there's other places that, like, you know, detectives will recase, rewalk, relook, like, over and over and over again, because that is a massive space at a ton of people. There's so many variables to this. And now you're going to allow. So I want to look, and I'm going to start doing the research on it. I want to find out when those permits were pulled.
No, I agree. I mean, there's just so many. We can go. There's so much shit that, dude. As far as tinfoil hat on the subject alone, it's just it's crazy, dude. I mean, one of my big things is, all right, so I've watched footage, and this is kind of tying back to, you know, whoever. Obviously, this was more than one person. This was not some fucking nut job who decided that he was going to do what he was going to do. In my personal opinion,
Right.
there's just too many coincidences. There's too much shit going on. But bro, so from all the footage that I've watched that's available that I can find, um, there are no drones flying in this vicinity at all, right? And literally, I saw a clip, which I've been trying to find it again, and for some reason, a little hard to find. But right after that shot happens, there is a DJI drone, which is about this big. It's like two iPhones put together, as far as you know, the size of it, which you can order the parts, build it at home. It doesn't have to have any ID numbers as far as regulations. Like it's supposed to, they're supposed to be able to track it. The government's supposed to be able to track it. But right after that shot, little baby drone camera on it dips down in front of right into, not into um, the awning he's sitting under the tent, but right to where they can see what's going on. And it was almost for me like, okay, if somebody paid X amount of money to whack this man, they're gonna want instant confirmation that
Right.
it happened. And I'm not saying that the person they have in custody, got paid to do this. That's the exact opposite of what I'm saying. There's bigger forces at play here, in my personal opinion, and I think that they wanted absolutely to confirm that wherever he was hit was something that there's a 99% chance or higher that he's not surviving.
Yeah.
But like I said, dude, I cannot. I saved this video, or I sent it. I think I sent it to Cody. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I've gone back and I've looked for it. I have it in my text messages or in my Facebook, one or the other. And it takes me to a dead page. I've looked, I've looked and looked and looked and looked, and I cannot find this footage, which is a little, it's one person. They're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? They're literally, this shot goes off, they're running, and they see a drone, and they just so happen to capture it on footage.
Right.
To me, and I checked with Cody on this as well, like, for operators who aren't working for, let's call them what they are, actual operators of, not a particular government on the face of it, they're going to want confirmation right away. He said a lot of scopes that they've used, or something I've read is a lot of scopes that is currently used for assassinations, for hits in other countries. They're like over in Ukraine and Russia right now, they're digital. They can take pictures. They can record. You know what I mean? You can buy a hunting scope that records.
Yeah, I mean, when you do it, when you frame it that way, yeah, I mean, it's it literally. I mean, I definitely, if you could find that, bro, send it to. I would definitely be curious to see it.
I got you.
But yeah, that shit's I mean, they have technology, bro. Like, they know everything you do. Like, so I mean, they could tell you whether you went to a taco truck and you drank Pepto Bismol when you got home. Like, they could tell you that shit a mile away. That's about as ludicrous as when they, somehow they couldn't find Osama bin Laden for 10 years. Break. They knew where that guy was. So yeah, I mean, they got the technology, if somebody at that level had taken Charlie out, I would imagine they'd want confirmation.
Right.
Because there was definitely, I mean, if it was, we'll just say for the sake of it, you had all these billionaires or, all these people that Charlie pissed off. If it was an intelligence op, that means that they were monitoring that shit, waiting for it to happen from a briefing room somewhere.
Right. Absolutely. It's either that or, I mean, that's what I would go with my tinfoil hat theory is that exactly.
Yeah, I'll say some hellos over here. Dre, good to see you. Amy, as always, love you. How you doing, Rev? Nick, good to see you, buddy. Jules, Yoli, Chrissy, I know I saw you earlier somewhere in the chat. It's good to see everybody here. I know we're talking a lot about tinfoil hats, but instead of wearing tinfoil, you can buy one of Jason Vukovich's amazing one light hats. I wore it just for him for tonight. Damn, these things actually it's pretty comfortable, bro. And it's nicely embroidered. So but yeah, man, like, but even with to go back to this kid, like, it's so bizarre, dude. Like the whole woke activist narrative, it's not even adding up. Even when they showed the text messages, like Candace's producer had pointed out the ellipses on the tops and like kind of signifying that they're cherry picking things from different conversations and then piecing them together.
So just to go back right quick, this has been something that I haven't seen. So they do have, I'll send it to you, but this is titled Mossad Drone, a Bird or Aliens? Viral video of Utah Valley University opens up new conspiracy theories after Charlie Kirk shooting. And like I said, the one that I seen, I'll send this to you and I'll watch it as well. But the one that I seen just was the gunshot and then boom, like in and gone.
Oh, we see. Sarah Beamer, $1.99. First live, I will be back. Sorry, I have to bounce. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the super chat. Me and Trev appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Much love.
JD is live right now, and the topic is Jimmy Kimmel just got fired.
Yeah, like he's got to be torturing him, man. Dude, like, I'm just kind of glad because you know what? It's nice to see, like I stand against like the whole cancel culture narrative unless it applies to like high ranking members of Hollywood and the goofy bullshit that they've done because, we saw this with Gina Carano. We saw this with Roseanne Barr. We've seen this with, Kevin Sorbo and other countless actors within Hollywood. I mean, I'm kind of surprised he didn't cancel Chris Pratt because he's a monster fucking name, bro. And he doesn't give two fucking shits about talking about his religion, talking about politics at this point. He doesn't care. But I think he's just too big of a name to kind of like to bounce. Like he's making too much money for Hollywood. But it is nice to start seeing their gatekeepers and their key holders getting fucking thrashed now. They're on the receiving end of it. Because, ultimately but I mean, if you have someone like Jimmy Kimmel, which I can't even believe he's made it this far. He says stuff. He was funny when he was on the Man Show like 100 years ago. I know like he liked to whitewash that out of his history when him and Adam Carolla were doing that. He was funny then. And then somewhere he turned into some crying ass bitch, bro. And he's out there. It's always like, oh my God, it's just ass tightening, bro. Like half the stuff, it doesn't even make me laugh.
No, it's not funny at all.
Like if you're a comedian and I'm sitting there and I don't even smile, like you're terrible.
Absolutely.
That's like next level terrible. Like I would rather pass a kidney stone than listen to Jimmy Kimmel's stand up.
Sure.
But yeah, it's nice to see that crying asshole, get torched. But what happens is you get these companies, you get someone like him that's up there just always crying and bitching. When people stop watching your fucking shit, you're not making any money anymore. There's nothing you're going to make from that at all. So, it's just pathetic. And I hope he's sobbing in his pillow right now.
Yeah, fuck the dude. I mean,
Do you think? I bet he's one of those guys that wears like he puts on. He went home, he cried, he put on some women's underwear, and his,
Yeah, for sure.
he's sobbing in a. He's sobbing in that hat that a friend of ours was wearing the other day.
Drinking box wine.
Drinking box wine.
Brian,
Speaking of wine,
right.
throw the box wine out the window. Smash anything Robert Mondavi. The only wine you want on your shelf is Pazzo wine. Amy, if you could be so kind as to share the link to Bohemian Manor for Anthony Arillotta. I'll always support this man. This guy got me going. Love you, Ant. This one, make sure you put that. Vaz, it wouldn't surprise you that people are smashing their Robert Mondavi in exchange for Pazzo wine? It doesn't surprise me either. Or you're not surprised that Jimmy Kimmel's wearing one of a gypsy hat, wearing lady bloomers, and sobbing into his pillow to Seventh Heaven reruns. But actually, that might be a little too Christian for him.
Yeah, I think a little too much.
Yeah, he sounds like a more of a step-by-step guy. Fucking Fruit Loop. But I just cannot stand, like, I hope to end all the fucking weak woke fucking actors and actresses that are all standing up there. Like Will Ferrell, like I used to think Will Ferrell was like one of the funniest people in the world until like he just started just going out there like with that weird like sigh, like when are we just gonna turn the keys over to women? Like, bro, like as if there's not a single woman in politics. What a jerk off.
No, I agree.
And besides, it's no offense to ladies, man, but I've seen how they fight each other, bro. They played a long game. Savages. We'd be a nuclear war like within an afternoon. Like, could you imagine like somebody's like, oh, it's a nice dress, passive aggressive, like bomb that bitch.
Right.
Who the fuck she thinking she's talking to? You know. But nah, man, like in other news, that's shit going on. York County, Pennsylvania, there was 5 officers were ambushed. As far as last I saw, that 3 of them had passed away. Send our condolences, to those families, to those officers. How did that go down, bro? Did you, from you seen?
I didn't have time to catch the whole thing. I was thinking that you were going to be, since you're a lot closer, just geography wise, that you would have a little more information on it. All of I know is basic front of the line, information. I can pull up real quick if you would like me to. Pull up what's being.
Yeah, let's see. Hold on, Amy. Could you send me a at least one link?
Yeah,
just a singular link to this case. But yeah, it's really upsetting to know that like these cops, another situation where cops are just doing their job, and this is the bullshit that they're met with. It's just unreal, bro. That
it's ridiculous. It's crazy. It doesn't make sense. The violence, man. This is something that I truly believe is just with how violent and how crazy things have been, and how often it's a daily fucking thing right now that some crazy shit's happening.
Right.
It's not looking good for our country right now. I think that we are definitely have been headed and are continuing to head in some very negative directions. That it's gonna just continue getting worse, I think. And all I got to say about it is I won't be a fucking victim, bro. I don't know about about you, anybody watching, but me and mine, we're not gonna be a fucking victim.
Nick, what was that? Did anybody hear that the WHO wants the U.S. to sign? I didn't, bro. But send me the stuff you got about that. I'll take a look into that. But the Just the insanity, bro. Like you're right. Like when there's always a catastrophic event like this, bro, these are the aftershocks of it. People are so riled up, they're pissed off. And this is one of those things, like they don't know how to displace that anger. And I don't necessarily know, because I know that a couple of cops had lost their lives. I know, and 2 were seriously injured. But I don't know, they just don't. I don't know if what happened with Charlie plays a role here. It could have been something else. But you know what? If they start, you think so?
The press release I saw, it was too quick after it happened to where they didn't have answers.
Yeah.
And then I was just putting together my list since then, and I just kept on finding more and more things. And I didn't go back to get it. So hopefully Amy shoots one of us some info here shortly. If not, I do have another just absolutely ridiculous thing to cover.
Yeah, man, like it's. But you know the thing is they get that. I mean, the other thing that's I think will generate a massive threat for law enforcement, bro, is if there starts to become, if there's more and more discrepancies coming up with Charlie's case, there's going to be more and more. It's going to create a new form of distrust with not just the government. It's going to create distrust with law enforcement. And it's going to make just your normal day-to-day cops. It's going to make their job harder because, I mean, and they're going to have to be afraid of just the woke losers that are going to shove a camera in your face or, just that crazy shit. But then you're going to get tinfoil hats, bro. They're going to be locked and loaded thinking that every cop that's stopping them because their taillight's out's a Mossad operator. And it's like, it just creates havoc overall.
Right, for sure. I mean, people already don't like cops a lot of the time. A lot of people don't trust cops. I mean, at a certain point, you're just adding these things that are happening are just adding fuel to the fire. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, and I don't think they even realize it. Like, especially the woke, super woke people. Like, man, like if they think everything's fucking fine in their la la land world, maybe that's a different story. But I don't know. And then you've got people who are completely unhinged in the first place. So.
Vaz, I just got to ask, like, Vaz, are Angry Cops, are those YouTube channels? Because I'm a little bit confused on what you're saying right now.
Angry Cops and Fat Electrician and Brandon Herrera, all 3 of them, they're on the Unsubscribed podcast.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, and then they all have separate channels as well. All of them seem to be pretty lit dudes.
I was a little confused. Like, I thought he was like, oh, we should get like just like actual angry cops and a fat electrician. Like,
it's like I know a couple. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll even throw you in a miserable plumber while I'm at it. Like,
fucking A.
We'll shake it up with that. But yeah, I'll look into it, Vaz. But no, yeah, it's just going to create further turmoil. But I mean, like, you look at, those jackasses in their in the conversations that they're having, the expedited process of this entire investigation. I mean, even Kash Patel he's sitting before Congress right now. It's all everything. It's just what the fuck is going on? Like, I'm so almost frustrated because it's almost too much information. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's been whiplash, dude. Crazy back and forth, and it gets to the point where you've got fucking people that can't just let it be. Let anything be. Like, you've got streamers saying crazy shit. I don't know who this dude is, but some dude named Destiny.
Oh my God! Don't even get me started on that. That fucking guy.
We need conservatives to be afraid. This is a direct quote. We need conservatives to be afraid of being killed when they go to events, so they look up to their leadership and turn down the temperature. The fuck is wrong with you? So he got banned for hateful conduct, and his response on X and this is a direct quote as well, is unreal at Elon Musk and other conservatives. Just got me banned from Twitch or Kick, one or the other, or both. I think it's Twitch, my bad. My entire income is now gone. So much for the party of free speech. Like, what the fuck does this loser have? You know what I mean?
Like, but I mean, it's like, why are you? And Destiny has a big following, bro. Like, you're again, you're keeping the wheel of violence and hatred churning by, you're gonna sit there and say that people, we need to be afraid. I saw that clip.
Crazy madness.
What a fucking jerk off move that is. Same thing. And then you have, like, I'm waiting for the stupid comments from that jackass Vosh. I'm waiting for him to come out. That fucking creep. Arrogant motherfucker he is. Like,
I mean, bro, at that point, if there's the crazy rights, or the crazy right, whatever. Sorry, I'm exhausted at this point with this shit. It's too much. But at what point, man, do we understand that the radical left is a real thing?
Yeah.
Like,
it's 100% a real thing.
And not only that, but, like, these motherfuckers are crazy. Like, the same way they think it's crazy that, like, these are the same kind of people who are like, they find out your kid gets raped and they're like, oh, therapy will be all right. Like, no, motherfucker, like, I'm gonna go and kill somebody. I'm going back to prison, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Period. And they're, they just think I'm gonna shut my mouth before I go on.
I mean, don't worry. We're not big enough for the. We can say we still get away with saying some shit.
I don't even want to go on the tangent, bro. I'm too tired.
Yeah. Like, this live really wasn't really planned. It was kind of just, like, Saturday was planned out, and going forward, things will be a little more organized, a little more planned. I'm exhausted. I know Trev's exhausted.
Yeah.
And but no, I mean, they're insane, bro. And it's not even just that. They're the same people that wanted to completely abolish the police force and replace it with social workers. I think what's that guy? Tom McDonald said, if your house on fire, in that song, he was like, you don't need firemen, call a fire extinguisher or something like that. Like,
they're the same people who guns kill people, bro. Cars don't kill people, I guess, but
knives don't kill people. Chainsaws don't kill people. Like, I mean, you could basically kill anybody with anything. It doesn't mean go out and do it.
You're committed enough, hell yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm sure, like, you can get one of those, like, cinnamon scented wicker fucking thing brooms you hang up. I'm sure if you put the time in, I'm sure you could kill me with a wicker. You can scratch me to death with a wicker broom.
Yeah, you get creative.
Yeah, and my corpse will reek of false sense. But I mean, like, it just none of it and none of their mindset, and they contradict themselves in the same spirit, bro. Like, no, Nick, those wicker brooms, not the good old fashioned stick. I mean, if you were getting your ass beat with a cinnamon broom from Dollar General, homie, like, we could talk about it later if you'd like. But nah, man, like, it's a weird chain, like, of events, and everything that they say just doesn't make any sense. Like, there was an episode of Jubilee, like, when they were running that thing Middle Ground. It's really liberal bias, but I mean, to be fair, there's been some good conversations on there. They did one. It was black conservatives versus white liberals, and there was this guy. His name was Alec. This jerk off. He, like, is like the definition of the woke extremist. They're super fucking arrogant. Everything they say is actually routed in just pure racism and hatred. But they try to say it nicely. Like, he literally told a black conservative straight up, "You have to, because I know what's best for you." Like, But everybody's celebrating that motherfucker like he's a hero. He literally stole, and at that time frame when they did that shit, you had all the white guilt fucking things, people kneeling down and kissing feet and doing just really unhinged shit, bro. And people were stringing motherfuckers up or not sharing a black square, and you're gonna let that guy in your own party say some goofy ass shit like that? What's the matter with you?
Yeah, it's insane, dude. It's absolutely insane. Like, there's no other, like, just cut and dry. That's where it has to be left. Because if not, you know what I mean? It's just too much. Like, I don't get it. They're dangerous. At the end of the day, they're fucking dangerous people. But what they don't understand is they're fucking barking up the wrong tree with people who are really dangerous people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you've got an anti-gun party or a majority anti-gun party who is poking the bear and poking the bear and poking the bear and poking the bear. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that everybody's going to go to arms over this situation or anyone is, but you got to think at eventually, dude, like, we're looking at.
Do you remember the case in 2020? There was a guy during the Floyd riots. There was a mob that started breaking through this guy's. He had a gate in front of his house, and it was a famous picture. It came out. He had the AR-15.
The AR, and his wife had the little shitty pistol. Yep.
Yeah. They arrest that guy, and they didn't charge none of them.
Right. He just got his guns back. He just
did he really?
Yeah. He just got. I watched an interview where he got it back, and it still had in gray Sharpie the case number written on it. He just got his guns back.
But I mean, like, you're condemned. The guy was defending his property in his house.
Yeah.
I mean, like, so, but you charge people like they are trying to protect themselves, and then you celebrate the ones trying to hurt people.
Right.
Everything. It's like, and I feel like there's moderate Democrats. Like, I won't even put this solely on the Democratic Party, bro. Like, this would be like, by me saying that it's all the Democrats, that is the same philosophy that the extremist left say, that everybody on the right is an alt-right terrorist. But I think that a lot of the moderates are so scared to speak up and go against this system because of the backlash that they're faced with every time somebody, and you see it, like, all right, Buck Angel is a prime example of this. He's a very left-leaning individual, very sensible individual overall. I don't agree with him on a lot of policy, certain things he said, but he's out there, very vocal against he's trans, but he's also very vocal about the lunacy behind the shit that they're perpetuating, the gender identities and pushing this on little kids, and and hormone blockers on children, all this insane stuff. In his party, bro, they're telling him you have these trans, I call them trans trenders, bro, because they just conveniently pick that stuff up. Like, I don't care if you want to be trans, bro, live your life, but when you're taking somebody who, like, Buck's old enough, he went through the dark ages of this shit. Like, one of them founding fathers.
The same way.
Jeffree Star, 100%, dude.
Fucking totally, like, my wife showed me something today about, like, with Jeffree Star talking, and, like, dude's the same way. If not, same level for sure.
And but the thing is like, the reaction, and I've seen it in some of Buck's lives, in the comment sections. Buck's got a great way of fucking with these trolls. It's hilarious, bro. Like, he just kind of does it, like, he'll put the comment up and just react to it. And but yeah, dude, he gets death threats, he gets all that shit, the worst type of stuff imaginable he is getting hit with. And it's scary, bro. Like, so now you have somebody from his own political party who created the helped structure those rights for a certain pocket of society, and then you have these clowns, bro. They slither in and they just ruin it for everybody else.
Right.
You like, and it's this especially with that pocket of society, bro. Like the shit that they say is so crazy, so devious, so dark, so like, and a lot of downright fucking evil in a lot of cases, that it destroys rights for the fucking gay community.
Right.
And what are they doing? They're basically trying to, wipe out the meaning of gay, dude, like completely by replacing it with men and women.
What's the plus on the end of LGBTQ? Like, for real. Like, that's an honest question. Anybody in the chat know?
Yeah, I don't know. What's a plus?
For real, like, what the fuck is the plus on the end of that? Because it's a spectrum. You know what I mean? I'm sure that.
Oh, it's a spectrum, all right.
For sure. I've got a family member who is married to another woman. She's married to another woman. One of them is like a very atypical, like what you would see back in the day of like, what we call the bull dyke. Like it's straight up like faded hair, always wearing a flannel, like standard issue, right. And you know what I mean?
Right.
So they absolutely personally, like this is a family member of mine, they're disgusted by the whole trans narrative as far as when it comes to the children, when it comes to, it's, and you're right. Like, I think I've even had a conversation about, it's almost like nobody else matters except for these quote loud and proud trans that are pushing this deviant behavior on kids and into the schools. Like, man, it's crazy. Anytime you got to have a PTA meeting about fucking putting a litter box in a goddamn fucking middle school, we lost our fucking minds, dude.
Bro, well, that's another big thing, bro. Like, all right, there is a point when you have to step in and tell them, like, no, like this, there's something not okay. Like Ben Shapiro, he had one of the best framed the best way, bro. Like, his grandfather or something had dementia. Like, if he was walking around saying that he was a clock, or like, no, grandpa, like you're not. Like, but using their logic, you would encourage that. You would like, so, like, why are we doing this? Like, why are you trying to like tell people that it's okay? Like, it's okay. You're a frog. Like, you're a lizard, you're a puff of fucking smoke, you're a tree. Like, it's just like somehow we handed the fucking keys over to just complete mad, like maniacs, bro.
Yeah. Like straight out the loony bin fucking madness, dude. Make asylums great again.
Yeah, I 100%. I agree to that, dude. And actually but that would require them to put money into the mental health. Instead, we're going to spend tons of money to go after the gun manufacturers. Instead, and even if they took guns completely off the street, they'll move on. They'll outlaw Cutco knives because it is the Cadillac of knives, because somebody got stabbed with something, and this is an assault knife.
Right.
They'll come up with some goofy shit because it won't be the chef that went fucking haywire and killed somebody. It's going to be the knife.
Britain's got the same thing. They've got I was watching a documentary on Vice where if you get caught with any zombie themed bladed weapon, it's an extra charge. Like, because over there, getting caught with, in certain spots, getting caught with a knife is the equivalent of getting caught with a gun here.
Did you say zombie themed?
Yeah, and out of all things, zombie themed. Like, I was like, what the fuck, bro? Like, what? I don't get it. But their rationale behind it is like, this is used to put down corpses. Like, I don't get
but the rationale. Just think about how insane even that the rationale is
insane. They're smoking fucking crack. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean?
But, yeah, 100%, Jules. I love The Walking Dead. Like, do they allow George Romero movies over there, or like, or like, but I mean,
the same
because
place that's fucking arresting people for social
oh
media
my god,
posts, bro. So who knows?
could you? I gotta look up them talking about that in Parliament, bro. Like that's got to be so wild. Imagine somebody just getting up there. It's like we need right now. We need to ban these knives and these weapons, zombie apocalypse things.
Right.
So, but you know what that's going to do? It's going to give birth to the next trend over there. No Mad Max weapons. So you can't take a gear and a sprocket and put that shit on the end of weld that on a bar. They can go crazy.
This was a while ago. Like this documentary was a few years old. I know that there's been a lot more knife violence in particular over there since then, and it's the same thing though. It's like, man, like you fucking can't take. You cannot take. You can make guns illegal here, man.
Yeah,
They're never gonna get every gun. And at the end of the day, bro, like I know plenty of great laced Americans without felonies that will gladly become a fucking felon and not hand over their shit. You know what I mean? Period.
yeah, dude. I mean, nobody's handing over anything,
No.
and it's like good. It's like you can take whatever guns you want, and then we'll go buy the better shit off the street anyways. So probably at a better price. But it's so crazy. Like, yeah. Do I want somebody that thinks they're the Cheshire Cat, bro, running around with a fucking 12 gauge? Hell no, bro. And the goofy thing is they're like, they'll support and defend the right for them to buy that shit, because like if you are that unglued that you think that you are a fucking cactus, bro, say the fuck back. Like I pray for you. I really hope you find the help you need. Like I won't ridicule you and to your face.
Some good meds,
right? But I mean, like, I don't even think these people say these things. Like some of these fucking people actually mean it, and they should be taken seriously and from a point of concern. But I think a lot of these motherfuckers are making this shit up to see how far you saw how far you can move the line. It's not enough, so you want to see just move it a little bit further. Now you got people walking around on fucking leashes, bro, eating out a dog. It's like, I'm going to say this. I've said this to a million people. Your sexual fetish is not your gender.
For all day long. What you do in the bedroom is not your fucking gender, bro. Like,
and keep the shit away from the fucking kids, bro.
Hey, yeah.
Like, what's the matter with
litter box shit? I bring up the litter box in PTA meetings because, like, it's a real fucking thing, bro. It's a real thing.
Vance, what are you talking about? You got bored the other night and took the speech from Independence Day and modified it to fit Charlie Kirk's situation. I don't recall. Did Bill Pullman get shot in that? I don't think he got killed in that movie, did he? That's right, Amy. I want to tell a lot of people I identify as a non-morning person. I just tell them I am one. Like don't call me before my 4th cup of coffee and at least 8 cigarettes. Like, don't call me until then.
I'm a half pack in before I can deal with anybody's bullshit.
100%, dude. And especially this week, I've had enough of everybody.
Yeah. Bro, it's crazy. Your cough trips me out because I got fucking COPD bad, bro. And like I don't cough like you cough. Like you must be smoking, bro.
Yeah. Like, I'm under a little bit of stress. All right, like I'm a little stressed. You said it now. Think my cough's bad? There is somebody lingering in this chat right now that's cough. I don't even know how he's alive, dude. Like his cough is so insane, bro. That like if I'm surprised you don't hear it. You probably like
through the screen. Yeah.
Oh, dude, right now, bro, like his cough is so insane that like that cough ain't nothing. Get the fuck out of here. Like that cough is so terrible Like, I can hear you coughing, and you're like 35 minutes from here.
It's the cigars, bro. It's got to be. Because I smoke cigarettes strictly, bro. It's got to be those cigars.
Nonsense. Ant smokes cigars. He doesn't cough like me. My fucking lungs look like fresh brisket. So let me and Trev be an endorsement to do not smoke.
For real.
It's like an unofficial truth ad over here.
Right.
You know, but with that being said, no, like it's like we have to get like
I can't smoke inside, bro, so I'm just gonna
I got the windows open, everything's been pulled out. I forget about it. Like, you know, it's but no, it's I don't know where I lost my train of thought. I'm still hung up on them fucking zombie weapons, bro. Like,
I'll find it and I'll send it to you. But it was from Vice. It was from Vice, and it's old. It's a older. I mean, Vice hasn't been around in a minute now, anyway. But I don't know what their logic behind it was, but it was some crazy shit. It didn't make any sense. And it's like, really, bro, like, just because something has I don't know, they could have been talking about a brand that is sold out there. You know what I mean? But I know that it was zombie bladed weapons, like that it was an extra charge.
For zombie laden weapons. It's just like asinine, bro.
Right. No, it doesn't make any sense. It's like should you get a different charge if your fucking gun is made out of polymer, or if it's made of, or like has polymer parts or wood parts? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Are they allowed to?
It's the person who fucking kills you. You're killing another person. It's not the fucking item that you're using.
Again, like, we'll go back to the wicker cinnamon fucking brooms. Like, you could fucking smoke somebody with that. You can stuff a boatload of balloons down someone's throat, and like, I mean, what's next? That's what's gonna fucking happen if that's what they're gonna approach, zombie themed weaponry. What happens if The Walking Dead breaks out over there by just some freak chance? It's completely medically impossible, but it will just say by some act of God that zombies come back from the dead. They're fucked, bro, because everything's illegal.
Right. They're gonna have to figure something out. They're gonna have to figure something out. Big rocks.
They don't got enough bobbies, bro.
Yeah, big rocks. Fucking I don't know.
They're gonna start charging people for fucking boulders in the garden. Be like, it's like, I don't know, man. It's like it might be able to take down a zombie.
Right.
They're gonna
like right now.
Dude, they're gonna fucking outlaw people silver, because I'm like, you can melt that down into a silver bullet. Like, werewolves have rights too.
Yeah.
That's next. No more. You can't, like, no more wooden stakes either, just in case vampires show up. They're gonna throw every Italian out of England because of garlic, bro. Like, it's crazy, bro. Like, but that's kind of the way the world is at this point.
Yeah, it's nutty, bro.
I mean, Chicago's fresh out of fucking Batman. Like, I mean, half of them look like, villains.
Yeah.
It's just, it doesn't stop. And then, I mean, their constituents are just made up of lizards and aliens and fucking child predators, demons, monsters, like. But one thing one question I wanted to ask, we talked about it last night, is it possible, bro, that this is a spiritual war that we're in?
Oh, the more and more wild twists and turns that happen. Okay, so, I sent you something. We haven't brought this up yet, but because, it did not time this shot like that. But Charlie Kirk was shot at 12:23. So chapter 12, verse 23 in the Old Testament, I believe it is.
Yeah, Book of John, I believe.
Yeah, is some revelation shit, bro. Like some end of days, like crazy crazy stuff. And that's not the only thing. Like, I've seen multiple other things. Like, Cody sent me 3 or 4 things that I've been so jerked around as far as mentally by all of this information that I can't remember what it is right now, but that's not the only one. That's not the only thing. There's several other things that, um, are all pointing. So, in short, your answer, yes, I believe more and more by every new thing, every new twist, every new fucking turn, more and more. I mean, look at it this way: the uptake in people who went to church for the fucking first time, or the first time in decades, or whatever, in the U.S. this past weekend was crazy,
Right.
crazy, like absolutely crazy, and that just doesn't happen, man.
Well,
Like, it's the fact that that happened. I think is a solid evidence right there that I'm not going to share my higher power, whatever. Like, that's personal to me, but man, that pushes out to the point of, yeah, like I really do think we are, because um, I think that realistically, like, a lot of people are thinking,
here I got the quotes right here, the lines from the Bible. Book of John, chapter 3, or chapter 12, verse 23. And Jesus answered them, saying, the hour is come that a son of man should be glorified. And then, not to mention the thing you sent me this morning, that a few hours after Charlie's death, there was an
oh, the
earthquake in
earthquake.
Utah.
That was the fucking other one of the other ones. Yes.
Psalms 18:7. Then the earth shook and trembled, and the foundations of the hills moved and were shaken because he was wroth. Like, that's like, you know what? Like, there are coincidental things, and then there's stuff of severe religious significance, bro. Like, and Charlie was, he was a devout Christian, bro. So it raises a couple fucking eyebrows, man.
I mean, I personally know several people, that think that Charlie, that God that was speaking directly through Charlie, and I agree with that. To be honest with you, in my own way, and the more I'm starting to agree more and more with it by seeing these things. Like, there's no fucking coincidence, in my opinion. Like, I don't believe in coincidences, man. Like, and if I do, it's very far, far few in between. But
Right.
the 12:23, the hours, I think it was what, 3 hours or something like that after Charlie was shot. There's
Yeah.
a decent size,
It's
decent size.
4.1.
Yeah, so a little more than decent size. But we're, it's. I believe that we are, whether it's the end of days, as far as religiously, I've had a lot of people, I've read a lot of articles, watched a lot of videos where motherfuckers are talking about, repent, the time is near, like rapture type shit. I think we are stepping into an age of spiritual warfare. And the thing that scares me, to be honest with you, is if we've been psyoped into believing that, that's a whole, like, I don't know what to tell you at that point. You know what I mean? Because obviously this there's a lot more going on here than we realize, and we'll ever probably know unless we finally get a president in office somewhere down the line. If the world is still here, who's like, hey, I'm pulling all the receipts of all this fucked up shit and I'm putting it on the table. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we're never gonna know. But light slingshot backwards. BBC News, September 24th, 2024. Interview on zombie knife BBC News interview on zombie knife ban. Some charity called Steel Warriors has spent years collecting these weapons from police and amnesty boxes and say that new laws banning zombie knives are welcome.
It's just the craziness globally.
So I apologize. I thought that they had already passed it, but it doesn't look like they have.
But it's a topic of conversation.
Right.
Like that part.
It's crazy, dude. Like
you know, I don't want to live on this planet anymore, dude. Like it's become just an absurdity. You know, it's everything is a circus, bro. It's a joke. They stroll around. They're just completely fucking loony, dude. I can't. I just don't want to listen to it anymore.
You're right.
I know that like me and Trevor we're exhausted. You know, this has been like it was kind of a spirit of moment thing. We did it. We came up here anyways and wanted to hang out with everybody. It's good to have everybody here in the chat. But we're gonna put together. We got some big stuff. We're gonna put together. We're gonna get Sergeant Cody Bowden back. You Absolutely. Know, and you know we'll chop it up with him. We got some good shit in the works. So just stick around, man. You
guys for showing up.
Yeah, we had a blast with y'all the other day. If you haven't watched Saturday Night's Live, I'd say hit it. Check fun. That out. But yeah, we love you guys. And for the other people, I always say it, bro. Like they're not paid sponsorships or anything. They're just people I believe in. Check out Black Poster Project with Johnny Alite. He got us turned on to that with D. Gillen. Hardcore Recovery and Alaskan Hardcore Recovery with Jason Vukovich and JD DeLay. Wolke Crossroads Recovery in my area. I had not paid sponsorships, just motherfuckers I support and believe in. And also, if you want to learn some crazy shit, we got me and Anthony Arillotta got some dope shit that's going to be coming out very soon. With Money Mayhem and the Mafia, you got to be sure to get your butt over there. You're going to learn the truth behind some real shit from a real ass man who's seen and done it all. And also, be sure to check out my brother Gucci Boomer. Share up Gooch's links, Amy, because that Gooch, Ant, and don't forget, if you want to get this fucking awesome ass hat, share Jason stuff. You got to get over there. Jason will be live tomorrow night. Me and Trev both mod for the man. Oh yeah, Facebook. He's not going to be on. He's not going to be on YouTube because, for one thing or another. But he'll be live up on Facebook tomorrow night. As far as I know, it's still happening. But knowing him, it's probably happening. But yeah, be sure to check out that shit at The Real Alaskan Avenger up on Facebook. Hey, the man. I'm not going to say his name out loud. It's good to see you, buddy. Thanks for coming out. But other than that, y'all have a good night. You got anything you want to say on the way out?
Fucking smoked brisket, not dope.
Yeah.
What I gotta say.
I got my brisket built in.
Too fried. My brain's too fried for the night. So
tired like a necrophiliac.
Yeah, that one, bro. There we go. People are gonna think you're a fucking monster now. That didn't come from me.
That didn't come from me either. Just some idiot I used to know. Tell that story some other day. All right, y'all have a safe night. Yep. See you later.